I think 49ers fans will find all of this very interesting on George Kittle going into 2025. I do want to begin here. NFL scouts, executives, and coaches on ESPN came together to rank the top tight ends in football heading into the 2025 campaign. George Kittle was number 2 going into the 2024 season, even though he was a first-team All-Pro. Now heading into this year, he is still at number 2. But there's a new number 1. It is no longer Travis Kelce, who's getting a little bit longer in the tooth. It is the now second-year player, Brock Bowers of the Las Vegas Raiders, a first-round pick last year out of Georgia after he had a spectacular career. And so the list goes as such. Brock Bowers, number 1. George Kittle, number 2. Sam Laporta, 3. Trey McBride, Travis Kelce in the 4-5 spots. And then 6 through 10, Mark Andrews, TJ Hawkinson, Isaiah Likely. So 2 Baltimore Ravens there. Dallas Goedert at number 9 and David Njoku at number 10. The Kittle-Kelce debate was a great one for a really long time. These two players were neck and neck, and a lot of people were going back and forth. Who's better? Is it Kelce? Is it Kittle? Kittle is a more well-rounded, all-around player, whereas Kelce is more of just a receiving tight end. Kelce has been alongside Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is better than any quarterback that George Kittle has had throwing him the football. So Kelce at times put up greater production. In the playoffs, he had some big-time performances. In some big playoff games, George Kittle's production has been a little bit lacking. I always kind of side with the more well-rounded player being the better tight end, and that's why I've continued to say, and I had this debate a couple of months ago at this point, and I posed the question on my social media pages on X and Instagram at Chase_Senior, who is the better tight end? Is it George Kittle or is it Brock Bowers? I think Kittle is the best tight end in the NFL because he does everything at an elite level. Route running, check. Hands, check. Picking up yards after the catch. He's a demon. In the red zone, he's a great target. He's been a great weapon for Brock Purdy, helping to elevate his young quarterback. Kittle, though, is also a spectacular blocker. And when you are asked to do that, your fingerprints are all over your team's success. And while Brock Bowers last year set the record by having the best rookie season for a tight end in the history of the NFL, he is not asked to do some of the things that Kittle is asked to do. And while Bowers last year had 112 catches for nearly 1,200 yards, it was only at 10.7 yards per reception. He got targeted 153 times. I think it's telling how George Kittle and a lot of the players on this Niners offense are able to maximize their opportunities because there are so many options. Kittle only had 94 targets, 78 catches, but still had more than 1,100 yards, 14.2 yards per catch alongside 8 touchdowns. We're talking about a future Hall of Famer here and the best tight end in the history of this Niners organization. Here's what ESPN's write-up was on Kittle. He's aging well, coming off back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons with a combined 14 touchdowns during that 2-year span. 50 of his 78 catches last year went for a first down. His premier blocking remains unmatched, and he's still tough to bring down, leading all tight ends with 14.2 yards per catch. Kittle and quarterback Brock Purdy both signed massive contract extensions as a tandem this offseason, so they have several years to build upon their chemistry. Kittle caught 83% of Purdy's targets last year. He's shown that when he's healthy, he's the most complete player at the position, an AFC scout said. Durability is the only thing that has really affected that. He embodies San Francisco's culture, and that's why they keep paying him. Look, I think the durability concerns are overrated. Has Kittle been injured at times? Yeah, but he's also fought through those injuries. He only has 1 year in 8 that he's been injured to the point where he misses a lot of time. In 2020, he played 8 games, but in the 3 seasons before that, 15, 16, 14, after those 8 games in 2020, 14, 15, 16, and 15. And that AFC scout made the point that I made. He is the most complete player at the position. And being the most complete player, I think, is very important. Now, for anybody, or let me add this too, with the Deebo Samuel trade, and the Niners signing Luke Farrell, I think San Francisco will include Kittle more in the pass game. And so if he can stay healthy, I think that he becomes more of a passing weapon in this offense, and he'll have some more targets. He'll have more ample opportunities to put up even better production. And that relationship that he's had with Brock Purdy on the field in between the lines has been dominant since Purdy came into the league in 2022. And Kittle's numbers, the uptick in them, they've coincided with Purdy being on the field because they are a really good 1-2 punch at that quarterback tight end position. Kittle, to all of the doubters, by the way, who don't think that he's the number one tight end in the NFL, look at this drive right here at the American Century Championship at Lake Tahoe. Let's take a look at what George Kittle had to do. We'll practice away. He belted that. And look, when you're 6'4", 250, damn, it's hard to find clubs that fit you. So Kittle's a little bit hunched over to a certain degree, but man, he belted that ball off the tee box, and obviously a beautiful sight at Lake Tahoe there for the famous American Century Championship. So to anybody who doesn't think Kittle is the top tight end in the NFL, their faces were on that golf ball, and he lined it up. Bah! Kittle, can he outdrive me? I don't know. All right, let's move ahead. Nick Wagoner, beat writer covering the Niners for ESPN, put together just a fascinating article, and it's titled as such, 49ers tight end George Kittle's formula for playing as long as possible. This is a guy who's so dedicated to the game of football, loves the game of football, and he's doing everything that he can so that he can play and produce for a very long time. Just a couple of tidbits from that article that I want to share here. It's early June, and the San Francisco 49ers had just put the finishing touches on their offseason program by breaking a team huddle, dividing into position groups, and then heading off into the summer for their downtime. As most players head into the locker room, tight end George Kittle is getting started on the jugs machine. At 31 years old, Kittle's participation in organized team activities is largely limited to individual drills. He doesn't plan to leave any opportunity to hone his craft on the table, whether it's catching passes post-practice, hosting an annual get-together for his fellow tight ends, or his meticulous pre-practice routine. Kittle remains focused on being the NFL standard bearer at his position. Look, this is why the greats are great. This is why the greats become great. This is why the greats stay great. George Kittle in OTAs in the spring, months before the start of the year, after practice, as everybody is excited to do their own thing from a couple of weeks, to get away from football for their last recharge before the grind of the football season starts, hits the jugs machine. Guy is just one of one. George Kittle on his love for the game. I had a dream of playing NFL football when I was a kid. I just love the game so much, and I've been blessed enough to have this opportunity, and I feel like it's up to me to decide whether the window's closed or my time is coming to an end. I'm literally living my dream, so why would I not want to be the best version of myself that I can be? As for how Kittle has become the best version of himself, what has led to his longevity? Wagoner sharing a lot of great information. Deep tissue massages, acupuncture, stem cell. Those are 3 pillars to Kittle's recovery. He also eats as many proteins and as many carbs as he can. Got to be able to load up that body when you're that size. And he has 4 to 5 meals per day. He is also honed in on strengthening his body and his mind. Like I always say this, like health is wealth. And that's for the mind, body, and spirit. A lot of athletes adopt that as well because they need to. It's not only mentally rigorous, it's of course physically rigorous as well. And let's hope that this great play continues for Kittle and he continues to ball. He was drafted in 2017, so he could become the first Niner who is drafted by San Francisco to stay with the team for a decade since Joe Staley last did it. It's unique stuff. Be sure to give me a follow on X and Instagram at Chase_Senior. I'm always talking Niners here. I'm always talking Niners over there as well.